welcome to The Stands, episode 1. It is your host. Finally, yes. The long wait is over, everybody. This is Andrew Dippel with my co-host,
Eric Neal. You already know.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to The Stands. This is episode 1 of hopefully a long-running podcast.
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk mainly, obviously, about sports. That's our forte. School sports, professional sports, college sports. You name it, we got it. Which also, make sure you check out our Instagram at FTS Pod and leave us some suggestions on what you want to hear, because this episode 1 is solely off of just what we think we want to talk about.
Right.
We would love to hear what you guys want to hear, So it'll help us out a lot.
Any and all feedback is perfect.
Absolutely.
Yes.
As far as high school statistics go, they're all brought to you by Max Preps. That's where we're going to get our source of stats, records, schedules, everything like that. Max Preps. So, here we are.
Right. First episode.
Wow,
Jesus.
this feels weird. It's a weird feeling. I'm ready.
Much awaited.
Very much awaited.
We're here.
I'm excited. So, let's get into it. School sports. Let's go and start off with varsity volleyball.
Volleyball, Jesus.
Wow, what a year.
My ladies turned up from beginning to end. Jesus.
Unbelievable. 25-4 through the regular season and through state combined.
Right.
They finished off the year on a 9-game win streak before they lost to Paragould and State. And I got a chance to go to a couple games.
Right.
I know you went to State,
yes,
if I'm right, when they played Sheridan.
No. Football had practice, but Paragould, I was there.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously, regular season, it was just domination.
Just amazing.
There were games that were done in no time, like 30 minutes and you're out of there.
Right.
Because games are just, I almost want a refund when I walk out. But it was well worth my money.
Worth.
Unreal. And you talk to the players and
right.
They know that it was a historic season, and it really makes you proud to be at a school where we have winners.
Right.
It was just such a special year for these ladies. And then it makes you think, what do you expect next year?
Right.
Like,
after the loss at State, I saw them walking out of the locker room, and I could see the determination on their faces. Like, this won't happen again. They wanted it bad.
It's clear, right? It was very clear. They're going to lose 2 seniors.
Right.
I think only 2. I hope
so.
I'm not wrong on that. 2 seniors, and the whole team contributed. The entire team,
right.
Top to bottom. They played their hearts out the whole year. 25-4, 4 losses in 29 games. That's amazing, and it only goes up from here.
Only.
Great season.
Absolutely.
I mean, I feel like I just can't say anything bad about this team. Seriously, if I tried to find something bad to say, it just wouldn't make sense. It'd be invalid.
Like, why say it?
Unreal. And again, that's what makes you proud to be a fan. Proud to be a student of a school like this.
And then, like, not even just the volleyball aspect of the game. It was like the parents and the student section for the volleyball.
Yeah, when have we ever had a student section of volleyball?
Right. I mean, I'd never seen that, but I was a part of it, and it felt wonderful.
It's awesome.
Just great. Like, you felt like you were on the team. That loss hurt us as much as it hurt them.
Right.
Like, of course it hurt them more, but, like, still.
And that's that deep connection you love with sports.
Yes.
And especially when you're right there in the action. There's nothing like it. Seriously. It's amazing.
I'm so proud of them. Like, they just don't understand. They played with their hearts from the beginning of the season to the end.
Absolutely.
It's sad to see it end, but, like,
right.
They played with their hearts.
They know how well they did.
Right.
I mean, historic season.
Jesus.
Unreal. All right. Well, now that we've gone on a rampage of just crediting the volleyball team in every way possible.
Correct.
Because, I mean, it seriously was amazing.
Right, amazing.
I mean, they put in work and they got it done. Varsity football.
Football.
We have a football player here right now.
Woo.
That's him.
That's me.
Not me. I could probably be the backup place kicker.
4 and 5.
4 and 5.
That's.
When was the last time we won 4 games in a season, though? Was it Jordan Washington? I think it was Jordan Washington.
Do not know.
When we went 9-2.
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like I'm wrong, and I haven't looked this up. But 4-5 isn't bad.
It's not.
And by the time I should denote this,
Right.
We're recording this before the Cersei game tonight.
Before the
we're recording
Cersei
this on like hours before the
Right.
Cersei game. So we don't know if they're 5-5 or if they're 4-6.
Right.
Right now,
Hopefully,
we're gonna go with their 5-5.
5-5.
And
hopefully,
playoffs. Here we come.
Jeez.
Right. So let's talk about it though, because it didn't seem promising from the beginning.
It didn't.
If we're being honest, it was a slow start.
If I'm gonna be 100% honest, at the very beginning of the season, it was like, oh my goodness, this is not going to work out. We thought that it was at the very beginning. We thought that we had this in the bag, and it started 1-4.
And I will say there was a lot of people that were like, "We're just gonna stink it up this year," and I was like, "Are you kidding me? This team is good,
Right?
And it's a really good team,
Right.
And that was me from the stands,
Right,
literally
from the stands,
the stands.
Jesus, just a lot. Is the Catholic game. It's just
heartbreaking.
I
will admit, I
left
at halftime of the Catholic game.
Arkadelphia came in our, stadium or field. They came on our field and just handed it the entire time.
Yeah, well, slow start like we just talked about, but picked it up with a 3-game win streak. That was West Memphis, Jacksonville, Mountain Home, which I'll tell you, that Jacksonville game was awesome. That was just so sweet. I love beating Jacksonville.
Slow first half. But
Very
it was a rivalry game.
Rivalry games. There is nothing sweeter than beating your rival.
Nothing.
I mean, when the Celtics and Lakers play, there is nothing better for those teams than when they beat them. Like, even if it's just a not important game. Yeah, preseason game. Right.
Still bragging rights.
Sweet. And that's how we are.
Important.
That's how we are with Jacksonville.
Right.
I mean, it's just sweet. And
we know who's the better team.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing's gonna change.
Mountain Home though, that seemed like a almost scary game in the first half.
The first half. It's like
some careless turnovers.
Our team is we start slow and then we just we up the pace and we just
push it.
Yeah, we do it all second half, but first half is always slow. We have to change.
And that is something I've noticed a lot already this year is first half we might not have a rhythm yet. We might not have everything figured out, but by second half after that Withrow pep talk, Withrow pep talk will get you going.
It's always ticking every single time.
It's just great adjustments, great confidence coming out of halftime.
Right.
And we know this team shows a lot of heart. A playoff run is possible.
Right.
Because you have a coach like Withrow who is amazing. And you have an entire coaching staff that is amazing. They know what to do.
Yep.
And that's always something you want out of your football team as a fan. Is you want a coach that knows what the heck they're doing, and they know what the heck they're doing with that football team.
Yep.
It's really, truly amazing to see the adjustments that I would have no business in making.
Right.
I'm like, why are we doing this?
Like,
and
people
then,
from the stands wouldn't understand.
No, I hear the strategy after the game. I'm like, man, that's like a whole nother level of genius. So we have all the pieces we need.
Every single piece.
We have a young quarterback in Corey Washington who is only going to get better.
Right.
And that starts now. Every game he gets better. Every game we get better as a team. We work together better, and it's amazing. I love to see it. I say, well, actually, here's my prediction.
Okay.
When we wrote this outline, what was it, 2 months ago, a month and a half ago?
Before NBA season started.
We wrote this outline before October 20th.
Right.
It is now November 6th. And my prediction for this team was 5-6, which means we're 5-5 regular season and a first round exit.
Right.
I now believe a first round exit will not happen. And that's my prediction. I'm saying that we will get out of the first round.
I like that.
As far as past the first round, I'm scared to make any predictions. I don't want to jinx anything. I'm superstitious. But, I mean, okay. I was pretty proud of my prediction. 5-6. I was pretty spot on. And that was after the second game of the year.
Yeah, that's what you said.
So, hey, football. Let's get it going. I remember one of my favorite football moments was the Jordan Washington era when we made the playoffs and we played Nettleton. It was our 9-2 season. Played Nettleton. And me and a couple friends went out there for it.
Right.
and it was Nellon's like 2 hours away. I think.
Right.
It was freezing cold. It
Freezing.
was 30 degrees,
Yeah.
miserable weather, but there is nothing like a good old high school playoff football game. Seriously, like
It's a different breed.
It's a
so
whole different like culture there.
Right,
It's
right.
unreal. It doesn't matter what weather. It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't even matter if you lose, which we did.
Right.
That was probably the most fun I've ever had at a football game in my life.
I feel
And
you.
I've been to professional football games. It doesn't compare.
It doesn't.
So that being said, you better be at a playoff game. If you get the chance to be supporting the Bears from the stands, you better be there.
There's chance that we have a home playoff game.
That's true.
There's chance. If
There's a chance.
That'd be amazing. Like,
It's been a while.
At our field, it's been a long time.
It's been a while.
We had a chance at conference. We just slipped against Jonesboro, but that's okay. We'll bounce back. We got this.
And that's what this whole team's about, bouncing
Right.
back.
Bouncing
and so I believe that'll continue, the whole bounce back culture
I
of this
agree.
team. We just know how to recover.
Right.
And there's a lot of football teams that don't have that.
They don't.
They just don't have it.
They
It's
get
simple.
beaten and stop.
We could be down 20 at halftime, and we can make it a close game by the fourth quarter.
Right.
That's just how it works. And that again goes with hand in hand with good coaching.
Right.
Good coaching, good confidence from the players.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see where we go
It's
as a
up
football
there.
team.
No cap.
The Bears, look out, man. All
Jeez.
right. And what do we got next? We got
Base basketball.
base basketball.
Base basketball.
So basketball season, it's about underway.
Yep.
We're almost there. We're a few weeks away. I believe the first game is the 22nd, but the blue and white game is when? Do you know?
I think it's next week. I could be wrong, but
Well, we don't know. By the time you're listening to this, you might know.
yeah, y'all will know for sure. when
We
it
just
is.
found out about this earlier today,
Right,
so
right.
we're trying to piece everything together. Anyway, you will be there at the blue and white game.
Right.
It's basketball. We gotta push.
We gotta show up.
We gotta push this team
The
this year.
same energy we have for football and volleyball.
I mean, we need
have it
we need it.
We need it.
We need it.
We need it.
And seriously, there's nothing like for a player. There is nothing like having a crowd behind you.
Right.
It provides an energy, a distraction for the opponents. I mean, it really pushes you
Mm-hmm. Right.
in the game. So
Good or bad moments though. Like
Right.
that's what people don't
we
understand.
lose. I don't care. We
like,
don't boo that.
still,
We
yeah.
don't boo that team off the court.
Right, of course.
Right. We are cheering that team on
Cheering the
every
entire time.
step of the way.
Every step.
So what about our level of confidence going to the season? It's easy to ask a player or a coach
Right.
what their level of confidence
Right.
is, and they say, "Oh, I'm confident that we can get far."
Yeah.
But what about us as fans? It might not be as easy of a question.
Right.
So what do we think going into this basketball season? What do you think our level of confidence is? Are we saying it's high? Are we saying we are high on this team? Or are we saying like we need to push this team and we need to,
Right.
to be there?
My point of view, it's just coming from the football team, regardless of the outcome on any of the games, I'm behind the team.
Right.
My goal or my hopes for the basketball team is that they win it all. I mean, you want
Right.
your team to win it all,
Obviously.
every single category. But still, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I'm there with them.
Right.
I will sweat for the team.
I will break down
Yes.
sweating.
I'm talking-
I will yell at the ref.
Yes.
No.
I will
Maybe
not
not.
get kicked out.
I
but-
almost got kicked out of a game in middle school.
For real?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It was awesome. He turned around. He turned and looked at me.
Right.
And he was just like, he's kind of staring me down. Which actually, back to football, a little break for a story. The Nettleton game,
Okay.
I was mad about a missed pass interference call.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting behind the goalposts
Mm-hmm.
where it happened. And the ref, it's a touchdown. It was an obvious pass interference in the offense, but they caught it for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And so during the extra point, the refs are lined up next to the goalpost, and I just yell at the ref. I'm like, I just made your eye appointment at the eye doctor. It's next week. And he turned around and he stared at me for, the longest 5 seconds of my life.
Right.
And I was like, am I about to get tossed out of this game?
Right. Get ejected from the stands. Imagine.
That would be so bad. But no, I didn't.
Right.
But I've had some experience with referees in my time, even at the the Bill Harmon Rec Center. I've gotten a tech. I've gotten one tech before, but we won't talk too much about that.
Yeah, we won't.
Because
it's fine.
I could go on a tangent about
it's cool.
referee fan relationship. Let's try and keep it to a minimum. Let's try not to get ourselves involved.
Right.
Like directly to a ref.
Right. Directly.
Like I get the take his whistle. That's funny.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's try and not get ejected from games this year.
No, we don't want that.
Because I can see it happening. But as far as back on topic, I just had a whole referee talk right there. Back on topic, my level of confidence is that I believe in this team.
Yeah.
We just got to be determined. Yeah. I mean, the number one thing for any team in any sport is just to be confident and be determined.
Correct.
You just got to believe you can win every game. There shouldn't be a game you look at and you'd be like, I don't know, we might have to work a little harder for this one. You should work as hard as you can every game, no matter what you think the outcome will be. Even if you think you're going to blow them out.
Right.
I want to see your best effort, right? So I believe in this team. I know we have guys that have a really good mindset when it comes to being on the court and playing basketball. I believe this
basketball is their life.
So if we're talking record predictions for this basketball team, they played 21 games.
Okay.
It's hard to tell. I haven't really.
They are in 6A, correct?
Right.
Okay.
I haven't really critiqued the schedule yet.
From people that play on the basketball team, the senior class last year was deep for every team that they played.
Right.
I heard that Jacksonville is a really good junior, sophomore class for, basketball when it comes to basketball. So honestly, 21 games. I say we win 15 of them.
15?
15.
I'll go with you. I'll say 16 though, just because price is right. I'll go $1 above.
Okay, that's fine.
So I believe. I mean, this team, they had potential. They just got to be locked in, dedicated.
Play every game like it's your last.
Every game.
Yep.
I believe. Now we got to move to the guys, the 0.02% that make the pros.
Right.
Let's talk about some pro sport, and we'll talk about some college sports later. But let's talk about some NFL.
Oh,
right?
No.
Woo! So first off, the biggest takeaway from this season. Let's think about this. There have been 9 starting caliber quarterbacks. Not even starting caliber, 9 starting quarterbacks,
right,
and 1 backup, it looks like, that have been injured and out for more than just a game.
Right.
Let's go through this list. We know Andrew Luck, his injuries led to retirement, so he's out for the year.
Out, but backup came and turned up.
Jacoby Brissett, which he's injured now, actually. He just got injured last week. It was either an ankle or a knee, but his offensive lineman stepped on his leg.
So that's another one to the list.
And so, but I think he's going to be back next week.
Okay.
He just got an MRI, and they said it was a really good MRI.
Okay.
So either next week or the week after.
Okay, good.
So I didn't even think about that. But yeah, Jacoby Brissett, get well soon. Let's go through this list, though. We got Drew Brees. He had a torn ligament in his thumb, and he couldn't even grip a football.
Couldn't.
That was what, week 2, week 3?
I think it was.
It was week 2. He was out for 7 weeks, I believe, and then he came back. He's back now. But hey, Teddy Bridgewater held that fort down for New Orleans.
Saints representing.
We got a Saints fan over there.
Yes, sir.
Which it's all right. Number 3, my guy, Big Ben Roethlisberger. In week 2, he had a elbow surgery because. Something happened. Something bad happened. Right. He's out for the year.
But can I ask you a question though?
When
it comes to Big Ben, do you want him to come back, or
yes?
Are you okay if he decided that this is the last one?
If he decided to retire after this season,
would you be upset?
I would be upset.
Okay.
Only because he was the leading passing yards quarterback in the NFL last year. He had the most passing yards out of any quarterback. And he's 37, I believe. Right. 30-something. He's mid-30s.
Right.
He's getting up there. And injuries is not new to him. He's a big guy. He takes hits. He gets injured. He's injury-prone. We know that.
Right.
He's had a few healthy seasons like last year. But it was disappointing. If he comes back, I'm happy because he's still that man, But if he retires, I get it. That's got to take a toll on players at some point.
Yeah.
So continuing on this list, Nick Foles for Jacksonville broke his left clavicle. He was out for 8 weeks. He's coming back for the Jacksonville after their bye week.
Okay.
Sam Darnold, he had mono. When have you ever heard of like a 30-year-old man having mono?
You don't.
That's weird.
You don't. But
Anyway, he's back, and he's worse than ever.
Worse. Absolutely terrible.
4 to 7 weeks he missed. Cam Newton, he was, by the time we wrote this script, or not the script, this outline, he was out for 2 weeks, maybe just 1 week.
Right.
Now, as we update you, he still has not played, and he is out for the year.
Season. Jeez.
With an ankle injury, or a foot injury rather, that was only going to cost him 1 week. And now his time with Carolina might be done. The Panthers and Cam Newton might be done.
Just never see
new team next year.
You wouldn't
and
think Cam
that's
Newton
crazy. This year has brought a lot of surprises. You wouldn't think Cam Newton would be changing teams at the end of the year. You didn't think Antonio Brown would be out of the NFL.
Correct.
I mean, surprise after surprise.
Right.
Unreal.
Right.
Continuing down, Trevor Siemian, he was the backup to Sam Darnold, and this was just so cursed. I really feel for Jets fans.
Yeah.
But when Darnold was out for those 4 or 5 weeks, Siemian dislocated his ankle, and he's out for the year. So he wouldn't play anyway. He's a backup.
Right.
Regardless, that's a quarterback injury. Right. Mitch Trubisky, he's fine now. He dislocated his clavicle, and he didn't need surgery for it.
Okay.
I don't think it was his throwing side. And he's back. He was back a few weeks ago, but again, struggle for him.
Yeah.
Might be because of Coach Nagy not throwing deep balls. That's been Bears' concerns this year. The Bears fans, they've been like, why are we throwing 4-yard dump-offs every play? And every once in a while, you'll see that deep shot, and it works.
Yeah.
Matt Nagy, he doesn't like it. And then Mahomes, the Madden curse, hit him too.
Yes.
He had a dislocated patella by running into his own lineman, I think. Or his own lineman landing on him.
It was the QB sneak.
QB sneak. And a really good MRI, though, and he should be back after 2 weeks.
Right.
So that's good. The game changer himself. That's 9 quarterbacks. That was 10 quarterbacks, actually, that have had injuries affect the outcome. It's a curse. And, I mean, we know that the NFL tried to fix this issue.
Yeah.
They tried to fix quarterback injuries, but they somehow made it worse. And some things, obviously, were not preventable by the NFL, and I get that. But some of these things are, and it's really strange to see. Speaking of quarterbacks and struggling, let's talk about the Cleveland Browns.
Tough.
Oh, boy. What a year. You look at the moves they made. Odell Beckham Jr.
Looking at the team, you would think.
On paper.
Yeah, on paper. Just amazing.
Just amazing. And we understand it's the Cleveland Browns.
Of course.
So we were going to give them a few losses.
Right.
And we understood if they were barely going to make the playoffs. This team's not going to make the playoffs.
No.
They're not making the playoffs.
No.
Why are they struggling? That's our question. Why are the Browns struggling? Can you tell me?
I can't. Honestly, it's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy to see.
We had Tyrod Taylor as a starting quarterback last year for the Browns. I'm not a Browns fan. I don't know why I said we. Dear Lord.
That's okay.
No. Tyrod Taylor was a starting quarterback. And eventually the Browns were like, hey, we just drafted Baker Mayfield first overall.
Right.
Let's give him a try. And he performed. Very well.
He got them the first one in how many seasons?
It was a season.
Right, one season, but it was like at home.
It was a bunch of games.
It was a home.
Oh yeah, there was some streak.
Yeah.
That he broke, and it was like the Browns were like, we just found our quarterback.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure those words are coming out of Browns fans every year for the past 5 years. Johnny Manziel, we found our quarterback. Kessler, we found our quarterback. Tyrod Taylor, we found our quarterback.
It's crazy.
It's crazy what they go through. But I think Baker Mayfield was good. Some film, some practice on him from NFL teams, and he's got a lot of pressure on him. So that's where he's been the worst quarterback in the NFL. I mean, he's been very bad. He has the most turnovers of any player since 2016. That's not good.
That's not good at all.
They were overhyped. We know that. That's another big issue.
Of course.
Is a bunch of people hyped him up to standards they couldn't reach.
Right.
And we knew that. And it's unfortunate. Because, but you gotta understand though, NFL fans are going to continue to do that.
Yeah, every single year. Cowboys.
And Odell Beckham's frustrated with it too.
He is. I heard he's on the market now.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Cleveland Browns they aren't looking to trade him, but
they're going to listen.
Yeah.
Okay. And another huge issue, which you never, ever want this to be your team, is the Cleveland Browns lead the league in penalties. And their discipline for penalties is next to nothing. Mm-hmm. They don't get disciplined for penalties.
Right.
And they continue to have stupid holding calls, stupid pass interference calls, just dumb
high school things.
Dumb preventable things that can be fixed. Mm-hmm. That all starts with Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett leads the NFL since 2016. Mm-hmm. He leads the NFL in penalties. Myles Garrett is a heck of a football player.
Right.
But he just cannot play the game right. And that's discipline. If we discipline him for that, he can fix it up.
The whole team.
I mean, they lead the league in penalties. And when you have over 150 yards a game in penalty yards, you're not going to win.
You're not.
You're taking them a football field and a half. I mean, it just can't happen.
Statistically, you're just not supposed to win that game.
The Cleveland Browns are still the meme of the NFL. Now, how about MVP? Let's talk about MVP of the NFL. Let's get through this quickly because it shouldn't be that much of a discussion.
Right.
I'm saying if we're going on pace, like numbers, Christian McCaffrey has put up historic numbers.
He has.
It literally carried the Panthers. So that's my pick. Christian McCaffrey wins the NFL MVP this year. Even though the Panthers might not make the playoffs, the NFL is a lot different than the NBA when it comes to winning awards. They don't really judge it off wins, which is good. I like that. But what do you think? Who's your MVP pick?
MVP. If I had to pick somebody, honestly, slow start, very, very, very slow start. Not really slow start, but I'm on the bandwagon with the Ravens.
The Ravens.
I love Lamar Jackson. I love Lamar Jackson. I absolutely love it.
I, being a Steelers fan, cannot stand the Ravens, a divisional rival, and they always somehow find a way to beat us. But, no, I mean, not always. We beat him quite a few times.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson might change the NFL, and I understand that.
He is the Curry of the NFL. I can say that.
That's a good comparison.
He's going to change it, and whether I like the Ravens or not, whether I like him or not, it's crazy to see what he's doing. He is a running back that throws the ball accurately, that leads his team as if he was, Tim Tebow.
Did you see the college? There was some college offensive coordinator that said in the draft that Lamar Jackson is a bad pick because he throws and he prays.
Yep.
And wow, how wrong was he?
I can't think of who it was, but I've heard I think it was a coach or, scouting or something, said that he should change his position to wide receiver instead of quarterback.
Unreal.
It's crazy.
That's our MVP picks. McCaffrey, Lamar Jackson, I said two really good picks, and they're both really young.
Right.
So a lot of upside, obviously, for both of those guys. How about the biggest surprise of the year in the NFL? I'm going, and the obvious answer
49ers.
Is the 49ers.
Obviously.
That's a huge surprise.
Right.
But I want to make it a little bit different because the 49ers weren't predicted to be a bad team.
Okay.
The 49ers were predicted to be a 500 or slightly above team, which obviously they're overperforming that right now.
Right.
But the Green Bay Packers were projected to be an under 500 team.
Worst defense.
With one of the worst looking defenses in the league. And they have proven quite the opposite. It's amazing. 7-2 the Packers are by the time of this recording. They're playing someone on Sunday that might. They're playing the 49ers on Sunday, I think.
Okay. So
I believe.
Huge.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
No?
Nope. The 49ers are playing the Seahawks. I was wrong.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying the Packers, regardless of the outcome on Sunday, which you already know of, if they're playing. I don't know.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers is still that man.
He is.
Discount double check will continue to make plays.
Yes.
It's unreal what he does. Getting out of sacks, escaping the pocket. It's unreal. And he can just launch a ball off his back foot. It's unbelievable. You haven't seen it out of anyone besides Patrick Mahomes.
Whoa, bro.
Whoa. Aaron Jones is undrafted and unreal. That's what I wrote down. Aaron Jones is an undrafted running back, and he is unbelievable. What he's doing is aside everything I could imagine. And they're playing in the second toughest division aside from the NFC West, which is the only division with 3 500 and above teams.
Right.
The Vikings and the Packers, holy cow. They're two overperforming teams. They're just doing amazing right now. And speaking of divisions and teams doing well, well, actually, first, who do you think is your biggest surprise of the year?
Well, I have a big one, and then I have like a little one.
Okay.
Me being a Saints fan, I want to say just Teddy Bridgewater himself.
Okay.
Like not a team, but like himself.
He was a surprise. I agree.
I did not expect.
Well, I didn't expect him to play.
Right.
But, it happened.
With Breeze going down, I did not in no way, shape, or form expect to win.
Right.
Honestly. I'm going to be honest.
Stephen A. Smith didn't either. He said the Saints are done without Drew Brees, and they're not. They're still alive.
Kamara was out. Backups came in and showed up and showed out. But he led the team. He did his job. Yeah. Much appreciated. Free agency, people are going to be spilling their pockets for him.
Oh yeah, they are. And
crazy.
It's sad because he probably won't perform at a high level. But for a team that needs him, like maybe the Dolphins want him, and they'll draft Tagovailoa as their backup or Jalen Hurts as their backup, and that would make sense to have Bridgewater there as a veteran leader, and then get those young guys in later. But who knows? But who is your big team that you think was a surprise to you?
Team-wise, it's definitely 49ers.
49ers.
Definitely.
And I get it.
Yeah. It's just like
it's obvious.
Looking at last year, you think they ended the season off, new quarterback they just start winning out of the blue. It's just
out of nowhere. They won every game, and all they did was make a quarterback adjustment.
Right, just a quarterback.
Back up to Tom Brady. He's now the starter for the 49ers, and he's already having a better season than Tom Brady. Hardly, but
right.
All right. Well, speaking of good success for teams, how about our way too early playoff and Super Bowl predictions? Even though it's not that early anymore,
right.
It's mainly just our early playoff and Super Bowl predictions. I'll run it down. We agreed on these picks. We agreed on these picks. So every matchup you see here we've had a lot of debates over them, but we've settled. And most of these are swayed by me because I had to convince them.
Right.
AFC, let's talk wild card round. Texans versus Steelers. Wow, the Steelers making the playoffs. It might be a little biased.
It's biased, but it's possible.
The Steelers have the easiest remaining schedule in the NFL. We're playing the Jets, the Browns, the Bills.
Twice, right?
Yeah, the Browns twice. It should be an easy wrap. It should be about 10-6 or 9-5. We're gonna say, or 9-7. We're gonna say 10-6. So the Texans versus Steelers, and Ravens versus Colts.
Okay.
I had the Ravens as a wild card team. I think they're gonna slip.
Yeah.
And it was hard to convince you that they're gonna slip. I think they're gonna slip. Just a few games. They're still going to go far, as you'll see. I have the Texans and the Ravens coming out of that. In the NFC, Eagles and Vikings. The Eagles have a chance to bounce back.
With, injury people.
They had the injury bug. We know that. So, Eagles versus Vikings. Seahawks and Rams. Again, the Rams have a chance to bounce back. Gurley is fully healthy now.
Right.
Cooper Kupp is amazing. Jared Goff can turn it up. So I believe in the Rams making the playoffs, but they're not beating the Seahawks. That's for sure. And the Seahawks have it hard because they're in the same division as the 49ers.
Yep.
So they basically have to be a wild card team.
7-2 now?
Yeah.
But second in their division?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's wild. And that happens sometimes.
Right.
How about you take us through to the divisional round?
Okay. So came up with Texans versus Patriots in the
Patriots
AFC.
had the bye, right?
We got the Patriots coming out of that one, and then Ravens versus Chiefs.
And the Chiefs, with Mahomes coming back,
yes,
we agreed they're going to turn up, and they're going to win most of their games for the rest of the year.
Right.
And that's a safe bet, I say.
But that game, Ravens Chiefs,
that's going to be a good game.
It's a good game, but we have Ravens coming out of that
I have the Ravens out of that one.
NFC, we have Packers versus Saints, and it hurts me to say this. It hurts very bad for me to say this, but we have the Packers coming out of that game.
Aaron Rodgers, I don't see him losing in the playoffs.
I don't know.
It's hard. I get it. And it was hard for
hurts.
me to pick it too, but Aaron Rodgers, can't bet against him.
It's fine. It's okay.
It's hard to bet against Drew Brees too.
Right.
But
he's the short.
I wouldn't go with
powerful. All right.
That's almost an upset pick, to be honest.
Yeah. Seahawks versus 49ers.
That'll be a good one.
Game, divisional round. We have the Seahawks coming out. 49ers with their.
I'm with it.
Right.
Because
amazing season.
49ers, they'll probably lose. They'll probably slip a game or two.
They have no experience when it comes to the playoffs.
And they have a young quarterback.
So it makes sense.
A young quarterback who's won a Super Bowl, but he didn't really do it.
Mm-hmm.
I say Seahawks because Russell Wilson is amazing.
Yeah.
You have Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf as your receiving core. You have a great defense. Oh, and Josh Gordon in your receiving core.
Yeah,
forgot
just
about
picked
that.
them up.
That Seahawks team.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll is one of the best coaches of all time. I say the Seahawks take that one. Now conference championships. Ooh boy, AFC. If you put it together, Ravens versus Patriots. I'm calling it now. That is the playoff game of the decade.
Okay.
Of the decade.
All right.
That'll be one of the best playoff games we've ever seen on television, ever. But who do I have winning it?
Looks like you got what?
I got the Patriots.
Jesus.
And the Patriots making the Super Bowl again. It just makes sense.
And it's playoffs. It's different.
It's different. That Patriots team knows how to play.
It's different.
And the Ravens are, again, inexperienced.
Right.
That's going to bite them.
Right.
But how about that NFC matchup?
Packers versus Seahawks.
Packers versus Seahawks, a classic. Man, I love watching these two teams play. There's some great history behind them. But who did I have winning it?
I'm going on the side of Russell Wilson again.
Seahawks win against the Packers. Now, here comes the Super Bowl picks. If you put together Patriots and Seahawks, we saw it a few years ago.
Right.
I think we're going to see it again. What's my pick? The Patriots will lose in the Super Bowl to Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. The Seattle Seahawks will beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl 38-34. I said it. I said it.
Bold predictions.
That is a bold prediction. This whole playoff bracket is bold for me. But yeah, that's all we got for the NFL. That's a lot, though. I mean, the Patriots, they're almost the favorites every year.
Yeah.
They got to give in, you know?
Yeah.
I'm saying Seahawks. They're that team this year. Now let's move on to the shock of the year.
Okay.
Obviously, this offseason changed the NBA forever. And so that's what the big shock is.
Right.
We have teams that we didn't think were going to be good that are really good.
Extremely.
The Suns. The Suns are really good this year.
They are doing what they're doing without their center.
Correct.
25 games.
25 games.
Because of drug abuse or usage, and that's amazing.
Unreal.
That is crazy.
But let's get realistic. Who wins the Western Conference in the NBA?
If the rumors about Kawhi's knee aren't true. Are not true.
Let's say he's healthy.
If he's healthy, everybody's healthy.
Let's say everybody's healthy, right? In a hypothetical.
It's Clippers.
Okay, so that was me too.
Clippers.
And I'm glad we don't have to argue about that.
Right.
I didn't know what he picked. I was hoping he picked Clippers.
It's
the Clippers, and here's why. It's a defensive overload. That team is just top to bottom filled out with defense. And here's my thing. Paul George is obviously injured right now. He's coming back
next week. No?
Well, by the time this is released, it's this week.
Right. This week.
2 MVP candidates on one team. And that's correct because Kawhi Leonard is an MVP candidate. Right. Paul George was an MVP candidate last year with Russell Westbrook on the team. Who do we compare this to? Easy. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade. You might be thinking I'm crazy. At the time, LeBron was the best player in the NBA, and that was obvious. Kawhi Leonard right now is pretty easily the best player in the NBA.
Right.
And that's per analyst. That's the popular opinion.
Right.
Paul George is a lockdown defender who can score. What was Dwayne Wade? A lockdown defender who could score. And I get it. It goes a lot deeper than that. It's a whole lot deeper than that. LeBron, obviously just takes over a game better than Kawhi Leonard, and he always will. And Dwayne Wade is probably one of the best two guards of all time.
Yeah.
Paul George is a better scorer than Dwayne Wade.
He is.
And we know that. But Dwayne Wade had a lot more going for him than Paul George did.
He did.
But Paul George might end up being the better player depending on if he wins championships.
Yeah. If
we'll
he
see.
does not, then that's...
And again, the Clippers just have too much going for them.
They do.
2 stars. They were a playoff team last year with 0, and all they needed was stars to help finish games.
Right.
They got that. They got two of them.
The best bench.
The best bench in the history of the NBA.
Right.
Maybe not in the history. But it was a really good bench, and it's prevailed. When you have 2 guys that can just score 20 off the bench, night in, night out, amazing.
You cannot stop that.
Best coaching staffs in the NBA. I mean, Doc Rivers and Tyronn Lue, that's a great coaching core.
Right.
And you can't match up well with a filled-out team.
Yeah.
What do you do when the bench comes in and you can't match up with their bench?
You just can't.
Even with your starters, you might not be able to match up with their bench, which is the case most of the time with Lou Williams.
Right.
So let's stick with L.A. For me, I'm sticking with L.A. How about the best player in the NBA? Who is your pick for the best player in the NBA?
Me personally, injuries ruined KD's. Originally, I had KD over LeBron. I'll be honest.
Okay.
Not.
But
just
so
because
far,
of
what you've seen this year, who is the best player in the NBA?
this year, hands down, LeBron. Hands down.
Okay, I have LeBron too. LeBron is making fun of his critics on Instagram, saying he's the washed king.
Right.
He just posted 3 straight triple doubles.
3
straight triple doubles at the age of 35. Wow. LeBron James, he hasn't ever not been the best player in the NBA.
Right.
Disregarding team success, he is the most effective player on any court at any time against anybody.
Statistics.
It's simple.
Right.
A force that has not been stopped and probably won't ever be stopped is LeBron James. I mean, there's no way you can match up against him.
Year 17.
Unreal.
It's crazy.
Still taking over games.
Jeez.
Speaking of dominant forces, how about Zion Williamson? He's out for a few more weeks. I think 6 more weeks. Is it 6 more or is it 4 more?
I think he was supposed to come at the beginning of the season. It was 8.
Okay, so it's 5,
probably
4?
4-ish.
He's out with a knee injury that they don't know what it is, or they know what it is. They don't know when it happened, how it happened. So that's interesting, but they say it wasn't a weight issue. Will he live up? The question is, will he live up to the hype when he comes back?
Looking at the preseason, I definitely think that he will live up to the hype that people played it out to be. Not the MVP every year type hype, but he will definitely live up to it.
I agree, and I think injuries will be a problem for him
unless he loses it.
Right,
honestly.
But I promise you. You should believe the hype on Zion Williamson. He is unreal. I mean, he is already the most athletic big guy in the game. And he will win Rookie of the Year, which we'll get to the awards here in a second.
Right.
But expect him to do great things. He will be on a lot of highlight shows. He will play defense against stars. He will be a factor for the Pelicans, who will only get better. So, speaking of Rookie of the Year, let's get to those award picks super early in the season. Award picks, and we're going to go with the finals winner.
Okay.
So I'll say my pick, you'll say your pick.
All right.
I have my MVP as Kawhi Leonard.
I definitely have LeBron.
LeBron and MVP. 2
year
LA
17.
guys, 2 of the best players in the NBA.
Right. LeBron.
Year 17 LeBron. I'm going Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
Because I think the Clippers are going to be the more successful team,
Right.
and if we like it or not, the NBA judges it off of win success. How about most improved, though? I think we agree on this one. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was my pick before the season. He was traded from the Clippers to the Thunder and the Paul George trade.
Yes.
And he is amazing. He is a youngster who can just score, and he can play defense. And what else do you need? He's athletic.
That's it.
I mean, he has everything you need in a player,
Yep.
and he's showing it this year, averaging 24 points a game,
I think so.
which is top 20 in the NBA.
I think 24 and like 3-3.
Like, that's unreal.
Shooting
for
over
a young
50%.
guy with that's a good team. You know,
Right.
that team is solid,
Right.
and they'll win a few games this year. So that's my most improved, and we agree on that one. How about rookie of the year? I already said mine. It's Zion.
Okay.
And we have been surprised by some rookies this year.
Right.
The undrafted Kendrick Nunn.
Yes, Nunn.
In
Out of
Miami.
Miami. He's
has-
averaging like 20 something
Yeah,
right now.
and he has the most points out of any undrafted rookie through 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes, no, he has the most points through 5 games out of any rookie
I think so.
over Kevin Durant.
Over Kevin Durant.
That's unreal.
John Morant, he's in the discussion.
John Morant's in the discussion, but I think that scoring is going to be his liability this year as he
Yeah.
learns to adapt to the NBA. How about 6th man of the year? I have 2.
Okay.
One is questionable. The easy answer is Lou Will.
Okay.
All right, Lou Will is probably going to win this award,
Right.
like he does every year.
Every year.
But Kyle Kuzma is someone to question. He hasn't played much already because of an injury, but when he gets in the groove of things, he might be one of those 18-point-a-game scorers off
Right,
the bench
right.
for a really good team. Again, 2 LA teams. It comes down to those 2 guys. So I'm going to stick with Lou Williams, but look out for Dwight Howard too.
Dwight Howard.
Apparently.
My pick, I have Lou Will, of course. Yeah.
Figures.
I think Dennis Schroeder has a chance.
Okay.
He started the season strong. He had a few, slip-ups.
That's all right.
It's 82-game season. And then also Goran Dragic. No one talks about him.
True.
But he comes off the
He's
bench.
not the starter
He's
for Miami
not a starter
anymore.
on Miami.
And he won't be. I forgot about that.
They have him on the bench, and they love it.
That's
I
awesome.
think that might be the move, honestly.
Okay. I get it.
Right.
I'm with it. He is old and up there, but so is Lou Williams,
Right.
and they're both dominating this year.
Yep.
Both huge pieces for their teams. Defensive player of the year. I used to have Draymond Green, but now that team's going to be overlooked,
Right.
the Warriors. So I'm going to say Anthony Davis. And it was a tie between Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid for me. Because Joel Embiid can play some defense inside.
Okay.
He can't match up. Anthony Davis can match up. That's the
Are
only reason.
Are
why.
we overlooking the European on the Mavericks?
The European Kristaps Porzingis
Yes.
from Latvia.
I see it. I mean,
I see it too, and I get it.
Yeah.
He was that kind of caliber player, and we
Yeah.
haven't seen him play in a long time.
Right.
We'll see.
Right.
So is that your pick,
I think
Kristaps Porzingis?
that's locked in.
Kristaps Porzingis, Coach of the Year, Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers.
We agree on that.
Right.
And the NBA Finals winner. I have a broken down prediction. The
Okay.
LA Clippers will beat the Milwaukee Bucks 4-2. And guess who wins Finals MVP? Everyone says Kawhi Leonard. I say Paul George. Don't overlook him. That's
Okay.
my favorite plair. Not biased. It's biased.
It is.
But I
okay.
think he's
It's
a
okay.
playoff performer,
He
and we
is.
haven't seen him play in the
Right.
finals. So we'll see.
If I had to have a finals prediction, it would be, I think Clippers will come out
Okay.
over the Rockets.
The
The Rockets are my pick, but I think Clippers will come out over the Rockets in 6 games conference, and they will beat the 76ers.
Okay. And I get the 76ers are owning the East right now.
Yes, and
I
7.
get that.
I say they beat
7 games
Yeah,
against
7.
the 76ers.
with 76ers having home court advantage.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
All right. That is bold. But again, not that bold because the Clippers are a defensive mastermind of a team. We're going to glance over MLB again. How about them Hogs, though? What a disappointing season. What the heck do the Hogs do at quarterback for the rest of the year? I have my answer. I say John Stephen Jones, who is announced as a starter for Saturday, should start. And KJ Jefferson, the freshman, should back him up and play regularly.
Right.
He should play snaps. He should play big moments. He should get on that football because he can run and he can throw. KJ Jefferson should be out there for a lot of snaps. And I get it. We're not going anywhere, but we still have to play.
Yeah.
The games will still be played. We're not going to forfeit. We're going to play games.
Yeah.
And so for the future, I say John Stephen Jones and KJ Jefferson will turn into good quarterbacks
Okay.
for the Hogs.
Right.
And that's all we need. It's just a good quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
A leader.
Let's go ahead and say, what do we expect out of the Hogs next year? 6 wins? I say
And how many?
let's say 5 wins. They play 9 games.
9. Okay.
So
right below 500.
Okay.
Right below
500.
I give them that.
How about our biggest problems as a football team is the defense just needs to make open field tackles.
Yeah.
I've seen too much of just easy tackles being missed. Offense needs to play with confidence. And they need to stop forcing bad plays.
Okay.
And we need to dial down on our playbook. No more fake punts. No more trick plays. Nothing like that. Let's keep it basic, and let's win some football games for next year. But as far as the Hawks go, we're hopeless. I say 5 games is likely next year.
I feel you.
But Chad Morris is going to have to get something figured out, or else he's out of Arkansas.
Yeah.
So, hey, we just recapped all of college and pro sports right there.
Yeah.
But we got some upcoming games as we wrap up our show. What do you need to be in the stands for? Take it away with the first one, which is a surprise maybe. But Oklahoma versus Baylor, 6:30 p.m. on ABC. Let's talk about it. Baylor's undefeated.
Right.
Oklahoma's lost a game. Technically, they're both contenders for the college football playoff. And they don't have much time to get it figured out. So Oklahoma and Baylor.
Right.
If Baylor loses, they slip. Obviously, they're out. Oklahoma wins. They'll have the same record, but Oklahoma just beat a Baylor team who's undefeated.
Right.
So they're going to likely be in that talk for college football playoff, even though they lost to Kansas State. How about you talk about the next game?
Packers versus 49ers.
Which earlier in the show I said wasn't happening, but it indeed is happening.
Right. Yeah, it is.
It's happening not this Sunday, but next. Which is not true if you're watching this show.
Right, if you're watching it this Sunday.
It's this Sunday.
This Sunday.
For us,
it's
next
next
Sunday.
I mean, you'll understand.
Packers versus 49ers
Right.
is going to be a good game.
Great game.
Why? Why is it going to be a good game?
I mean, Packers, you have Aaron Rodgers.
Right?
Single-handedly, Aaron Rodgers.
He makes every game a great game.
The undefeated 49ers.
Hopefully still undefeated.
Right.
We don't know. They're playing the Seahawks. Hopefully they beat the Seahawks. Who knows? How about Bears basketball versus Cabot on the 26th? It's the first home game.
Right. Come on.
26th of November.
Show
be
up.
there.
Right.
If you're not there, what the heck is wrong with you?
Right. Come on.
You got to be there. It's the first
Have
home
to.
game of the year. We got to support the team. If you don't have an athletic pass, you need to get one. By the way, it's not too late to get
Honestly,
an athletic pass.
I don't get into football games saying that I'm on
Right, because you're on the team.
I need
You
one.
need an athletic pass.
So, where do I get one, Andrew?
You can get one at the doors for most games. You can get them at football games.
Okay.
Or talk to Coach Tipton.
All right.
About getting you an athletic pass.
Thank you.
Because he will get you one for the low price of $5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
No. $10.
10.
I lied. It's not $5. It is 10.
That's fine.
I got
10.
too excited. Which is two games.
Last year was what?
And you get to go to however many you want in
20?
the district. It was something like that.
Yep.
$20, I think. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Coach Tipton, our AD, for getting that done. That is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
So be there for the first home game. And, hey, if we have a playoff game, we don't know it, but we're going to hope so. We don't know where it is. But
next week we would definitely let y'all know when and where it is.
Look at our Instagram. We'll get you updated where it is, what time it is, and you should be there if possible, because that's a playoff game.
Yeah, we need y'all,
and we all the support that you can get.
Yeah.
So, you know where to be in the stands.
Right.
Speaking of from the stands, we're out. That's the buzzer, and we will talk to you guys in 2 weeks' time. Thanks for joining us. And we're excited, again, to talk to you guys on the next episode, but make sure you give us feedback.
Please.
We need all of it.
All of it.
And that's all we got. So thank you guys for listening again. We will see you guys soon. Hillside or no side?